What's up guys, it's devbrevyt, back with another figure unboxing. Last time we took a look at two new One Piece figures, and this time we're going to be looking at some pre-orders that I got, and also another figure that I have been wanting for a while. But we're going to keep that one a secret for now. But right now, let's take a look at the figures and see what we picked up. First, we have this nendoroid of Shina Mahiru from The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. We have this pop-up parade of Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club, one of my favorite girls of all time. Next, we have a non-figure that is this art book from the artist behind Oragairu. I love his art, definitely gonna have to check it out. Definitely glad that I picked it up on this haul. And finally, we have the mystery figure. First up, let's look at Shina's nendoroid. Now, this anime, The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, came out earlier this year in the winter season, and they rolled this nendoroid out pretty quickly. And there's another figure of her that's coming out in February next year that it was announced really early this year. It was announced in April or March, and the anime was still airing, and they got that up for pre-order really quickly, and that figure does look really good, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. I thought about pre-ordering it, but I don't know. But however, this nendoroid I had to pre-order because she's just so darn cute. So how about we open her and let's see how she is. All right, I have freed her from her box, and like I said, she is very cute. Now, I just have her in her standing there, kind of menacingly pose, because I didn't want to mess with putting on accessories. I just wanted to get her out of the box and show her to you, but I will have her with some accessories in the B-roll footage. Speaking of accessories, the figure comes with some omu rice that she made, the umbrella that she's given in the beginning of the series, and the little bear, Kumo-san, which is given to her by the main boy in the series. Now, more on the series as a whole, I actually really like this anime, as you can tell, because I bought a figure from it. So, I definitely like it, and I definitely like the accessories that she's given. Mind you, modern nendoroids, they don't get a ton of accessories, which I understand, but they do sort of make up for it in the articulation. As you can see, she actually has her elbows, or not her elbows, her shoulders and the bottom bits of her arm here are actually two separate pieces. My Megami nendoroid, which is sort of an older nendoroid, she has just straight arm pieces, and then if they have a bend in them, that will be a whole separate arm. But Sheena here, actually, you can rip off her arm piece, and then she has a bent arm piece that you can put on. So it gives the figures a little bit more of an articulation and more ways that you can display them than just being kind of stiff. If her arm has her elbow like this, she can kind of only hold it like this, but here you can, have it out turned like this, you can do a lot of different things with it. So I do appreciate newer nendoroid models. Talking about the series itself, I really like the anime that she's from. I mean, obviously, I bought a figure of her, but it's just a really cute romance. I'll probably do a review on it soon, but just to talk about it now, I enjoyed it. I definitely wanted her and the main boy to kiss, and she's a really good main character, especially in a romance. I mean, she's cute, obviously, I've said that, and it's just, she's really wholesome, the anime is wholesome. If you haven't seen The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, highly recommend it. I do recommend the nendoroid if you are into nendoroids. I know that some people really like nendoroids, and then there are some people who are like nendoroids. I definitely told myself I was going to stop buying them, but we see how that turned out with me buying another one, and I have a couple more pre-ordered, so yeah. I'll be buying nendoroids for a little bit longer now. Next up, we have Monica's Pop-Up Parade, a figure that I am very happy that Good Smile made. So, let's get her open and let's check her out. Alright, so I've got her open, and honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed. So, I do like the Pop-Up Parade line. I think it's a good line. It has some really good quality figures for pretty cheap. that's the idea of the line. But looking at Monica, just what happened with this one? First, we have to address the elephant in the room being the base. Now, the pop-up parades are notorious for not having good bases. Everyone complains about them, including myself. The idea behind the first wave of the bases was a transparent hexagon of a single color. Now, Good Smile has seemed to have gone back on that, but now we just have this opaque white circle. This looks like when you watch professional bakers make figures to put on top of cakes, and they have styrofoam, and they just kind of place the things in the styrofoam until they put it on the actual cake. This is what this looks like. It looks like I'm putting her here so I can put her on the thing later. Now, I didn't like the bases before, so I can see that they're trying to improve them, but why white? And why just this plain circle? It just looks incomplete. At least put her name right here, or DDLC, or something, or heck, go back to the other base. Put a green transparent hexagon right here. I thought it was passable, but this just looks gaudy. And moving on to the figure herself, the colors just seem kind of muted, in the shading, and I get that that's it looks like it did in game, but I don't know, it just looks flat and muted to me. And her face it's okay. This figure is kind of breaking my heart, to be honest. I mean, the only saving grace is the ponytail, but that can get you only so far, even with me. So, the only thing is, at least she was cheap. Maybe miss this one if you're a Monica fan, or a Pop-Up Parade fan, or really an anything fan. And it is a shame because I think her nendoroid turned out great, and I have that. So, yeah, we'll display her next to the nendoroid, and hopefully she won't detract too much. I will say, looking at her a little bit more, I do appreciate this gloss on her tights. So, yeah, I do appreciate that. But, yeah, that's probably about the only thing that I like about this figure. Alright, so Monica doesn't bode well because she was actually kind of cheap. But the next figure that I picked out, it wasn't that cheap at all. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, it was made by Eastream, who sort of have a reputation of not being the best. Now, if you are not familiar with Eastream as a company, before I get into the figure, I will talk a little bit about Eastream. Eastream is one of the multitude of figure companies out there. They're right there with Good Smile Company and Alter, but Eastream is known for making some pretty pricey figures. And the way they justify these pricey figures is they'll have the figure itself, but then they'll put her next to something that looks like it cost a lot of money to produce. For example, there were these Mai Sakurajima and Shoko Makinohara figures from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai that Eastream put out a little while ago. And it just has, the 1/8 standard figure with this big slab behind them. Now, the slab is a background, and most figures don't have backgrounds, but the figures were really pricey, and you can definitely tell that they were sucking out all that money because of this giant slab, which honestly could have been left out. Eastream is also known for having a bunch of plastic, I think it's acrylic more than plastic stuff, around the figure. Their Gojo and their Megaman, for example. Their Megaman you have probably seen from other figure reviewers out there. Eastream loves to send out that Megaman because it's probably their best figure. So, in the beginning, Eastream definitely had this reputation for making overpriced figures that don't really justify the large price tag. But then there was an incident with their albedo swimsuit version. Now, this albedo figure in the pre-order promotional images had this beautiful, just flowing hair, just strands going every which way. People thought it looked really pretty, so a lot of people pre-ordered it. But when the figure shipped, the hair was just not right. It was like stock straight and not flowing out like was promised. So everybody went to the internet going like, hey, eStream, what happened here? And eStream, making the stupidest corporate decision ever, released a statement basically saying, okay, so the figure shipped this way because if we shipped it as promised, it would have broken. So we're going to show you a tutorial of how to use a hair dryer to move the pieces to look the way we told you they were going to look. Nobody liked that. eStream immediately removed the tweet, and nobody trusted eStream since. Or at least their reputation, which was already kind of shaky, dropped in a lot of people's minds. So, of course, eStream had to make a figure that I would really want. And what figure is that? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that is to open it. Now, because this figure was made by eStream, I did not pre-order it. I actually waited quite a while. It released last March, I do believe, or it might have gotten delayed to June, but I don't remember. But I definitely kept it on my radar because it was fairly expensive. So I just wanted to make sure that I had the funds for it and also that it even looked good when it shipped. And also, this is my first and only eStream figure that I have. Holy, this thing is massive. Okay. Hopefully I can fit in on a shelf. I might have underestimated how big it is. But anyway, show you the top here. It is, as you could probably guess, talking about eStream figures and knowing who I am, it is the Yukino Yukinishida and Yui Yuigahama by eStream. So we're just going to kind of rip this outer box apart because I don't need it anymore. And then we're going to try to lift the figure out of here. All right, here it is, and woo, okay, big boy box, but looks like the figure comes in some pieces. Looks like there's going to be some assembly required, which I thought it was going to come all right together, but I don't know. And as you can see, eStream is totally getting the price up with having both girls included. And actually, now that I think about it, I might be able to display this without the Yui, which maybe I'll do, maybe I won't, who knows, but let's actually get into the figure and let's see what I actually think of it and if my investment was worth it. All right, I lied a little bit. I forgot about the art book. Now, this goes perfectly well with the figure that I'm about to show you, which, trust me, I will show you. I just want to get the art book out of the way. But yeah, I love Pumpkin 8's character design. I love the show. Obviously, I just bought a pretty pricey Yukino and Yui figure, and I already own 4, so I gotta love the series, which I do. And the illustrations in this book are gorgeous. A lot of them are from the light novels, the covers, the pages in between, but some of them are from the covers of like Blu-ray covers, like the little inserts that go into the front, and then also like if there's a box that comes with the Blu-ray, there's the illustrations from that. And I just love Ponkin's illustrations. I was actually looking through this earlier, like the figures I didn't unbox earlier because I was like, okay, I gotta save them for when I get my camera out and I do the video. But for the art book, I needed to get it open and take a look at it. And I was just gushing at how pretty the pictures are in this. And I'm not really an art book kind of guy. Like, you know, it's just a bunch of art, which I'm like kind of iffy on art most of the time. So what's the point? But with this, I'm glad to have some really high quality, you know, really blown up big images from my favorite series by one of my favorite artists. And yeah, I know Ponkin has a couple other original art books out there, which I definitely want to pick those up too. But for right now, I only have this one. And also, enough about the art books, enough about stuff that doesn't matter. We are all here for the figure and to see if it's worth it. And honestly, I think it kind of is. All right, I'm being very gentle with her, but here is the figure. The base is ginormous. The figures are well done. I really love the look of the figures. And I love the look of the whole package. I joked earlier about not displaying it with the Yui, but I think the Yui really makes it. I love how she's holding Yukino, and just looking at this figure makes me smile so much. Now, there are a couple gripes I have with the figure. Number one, they're not attached. There's no pegs. The bags just kind of plop on, which is making me a little nervous holding it like this, but I'm being very careful. I will not drop these, promise me. But yeah, just like if the figure's gonna be this expensive and you're gonna go all out on it, at least give me like a peg or like a magnet, something, so they're just not like laying on there. That being said, the details on the bags like are well done. Like you have Yukino's little cat charm, and you even have like the 69 badge on a Yui's bag, which nice. But yeah. Also, this figure was like so complicated to put together. Like they show you, like they do give you a YouTube video in Japanese on how to put it together, which does help. But yeah, like to actually put the figure together, you have to like slide Yui in like between Yukino's like arm to get her arm like around her waist so that she's hugging her. So because of that, Yui does come without her arms, which I found kind of funny when taking her out of the packaging. But also Yukino's face, it's alright. I think the pre-order images were better. Like the promo images were better. Like I loved her smile in the promo image because I don't know what it is, but it is so hard for figure companies to get Yukino's smile right. Like, I don't know. Like, her Papa Parade looks awful. That's not her face. I don't know whose face that is. The smiling faces on the nendoroid, I don't like those. That's why I display her with the slightly disgruntled one. Even the lingerie figure that I have, like I'm looking at her right now, and her smile is just okay. Like, is there gonna be any Yukino where she has like a really good smile? This one's close, but again, the promo images were better. Not that I'm saying that this is a miss of a figure. It is totally not. It is still beautiful. But yeah, just a couple of nitpicks. Also, the water's like kind of okay, but at least we get a detailed base, better than the Monica Papa Parade. And honestly, if the figure's gonna be this expensive, at least give me like a good base, which, mind you, I don't remember how much I paid for it. I should have looked it up before. I'll put it in post, the yen that I paid for it and the USD exchange. But yeah, definitely love this Yukino and Yui figure. I love like a lot of the Yukinos that they put out. I will say I do want to go on a slight tangent. Let me put them down first and then I'll go on my tangent. All right, so quick tangent. I don't know what it is, but when it comes to like Yukino figures, and there's a ton of them, if they're like the high quality scale figures, they're like all in their uniform. And if they're not in the uniform, they're in some like BS outfit that doesn't matter. Like the lingerie figure, yes, I own it. Yes, she's gorgeous, but like, why is she in lingerie? Like, why? Also, like that casino figure that Amakuni put out, why? Like that figure doesn't even look good. That's another offender of like the bad Yukino smiles. Like, I just want a Yukino figure that isn't her like in her uniform. And like all of those like prize figures that come out where like she's in a China dress, she's in like whatever outfit they decide to give her. There is one of the Taito Float Girls figure where she is in her screen accurate, like swimsuit, which, okay, sure, but like, I want a high quality scale figure of either Date Yukino from season 3 or Tailcoat Yukino. Yes, because ponytail, but also just because it's like a different version and it looks good because the ponytail, but like still, alter anybody, any figure manufacturer, I am giving you free ideas. I will give you money. Please just make a Yukino figure that A, has a good smile, and B, is wearing a different screen accurate outfit. All right, so that's gonna do it for this video. All in all, a pretty good haul with the Nendoroid and the Pop-Up Parade, which basically shipped free because of the big E-Stream figure I shipped too. And speaking of the E-Stream figure, it turned out pretty good. I definitely have more faith in E-Stream. I actually have my eyes on their Makima figure that they're gonna release sometime next year. So I'm not gonna pre-order her because, you know, the pre-order images look fine. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, the figure companies just aren't getting Makima right. And same with like a lot of the other Chainsaw Man figures. You'd think they'd like do them better because Chainsaw Man's a big show, but I don't know. Anyway, if I do pick her up and if I do get more figures, make sure you're subscribed with notifications so that you can see those videos. And if you're watching this, I know you're probably not subscribed because 90% of the people who watch my content aren't subscribed, so definitely fix that for me, please. Leave a like, leave a comment, and with that, sayonara.